Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to ADT's public broadcast of futures trading. My name is Doug. I'm one of the training moderators here with American Dream Trading. If you've got any questions, please make sure you get them in your chat box, and let's get those answered right away. Questions, please make sure you get your engagement as early as possible. Right away. Questions, please make sure you. Welcome to ADT's public broadcast. Right. Anybody in the Zoom, make sure you please public broadcast sound check. Futures trading. My name is Doug. Make sure you. Welcome to ADT's public broadcast of futures trading. My name is Doug. Make sure you. Welcome to ADT's public broadcast of futures. Questions, please make sure you get a lot of reverb, isn't there?
Lots.
All right, how about that?
Keep chatting.
Check, check, mic check.
Sounds good so far.
Much better.
All right, good, good. Let's check the YouTube. All right, good, good. Let's check how about that? YouTube.
Keep chatting.
Check, check. Clicking. Mic check.
Sounds good. So
Good
far.
afternoon, Andre. Mark is taking care of some stuff today. Good afternoon, Andre. Mark is taking care of some stuff today.
Backfade on Zoom.
It's like a 5-second delay, Doug, if not more.
On Zoom.
Yeah, it's like whatever you're recording to is sending the audio back to us and then inputting that reverb back in like 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds later.
Yeah, I'm just listening on Zoom. And I hear the reverb there. Count to 3 and see if it is still there.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Sounds fine to me now.
Okay, try that. 1, 2, 3.
No echo.
Seems to be gone.
Okay, so let's try it over on the socials. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's try it over on the socials. 1, 2, 3. And if you guys could open up your mic so I can try and hear you. And if you guys could open up your mic so I can try and hear you.
It's repeating over there on your socials.
Yep.
Who's swimming in an aquarium?
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to try and do the live here. I've got some sound issues at work. Check, check. Check. Check, check. Check. Okay, so it's clean for me. You guys are hearing an echo?
Not on the Zoom until whatever you do when you do your socials, then we hear it.
Check, check.
Yeah, it's like almost like whenever you hit
Check.
record and you start your intro, then it gives a
check.
reverb back about a few seconds later.
Okay, so it's clean for me. You guys are hearing an echo? So you're still hearing an echo then right now?
Not on the Zoom until no, not right now. Only when you do your social thing.
Check, check.
Yeah, it's like
Oh, I'm on the socials now, so you don't hear an echo now?
then it gives a reverb back
No.
a few seconds later.
So it's clean for me. You guys are hearing an echo? So you're still hearing an echo then right now?
No, you're good now, Doug. Go ahead and give it another shot, sir.
All right, let's try that. We're going to increase the desktop audio, see if we can't get you guys a little bit louder on the socials, because I could hear you, but you were pretty quiet. We'll go with that. Okay, well, welcome aboard, everyone. My name is Doug. As I said, I'm one of the moderators here with ADT. This is Futures. We're going to be doing some Futures training today. If you have any questions, type them in your chat box, hit those, tap those likes, shares, and subscribes for us, please. over on the TikTok and YouTubes, hit those hearts for us. Get that algorithm pumping for us. See if we can get to 30K on the TikToks today. Pappy D says little echo on TikTok. Is it still there, Pappy D? All right. Real quick, legal. None of us here at American Dream Trading are licensed financial, tax, or investment advisors. Everything we do here is for training purposes only, and you are not encouraged to copy trade, as I am trading on, or you will be trading on a delay from what you may or may not see me trade. Again, my trades are for educational purposes only. I may show you how not to get into a trade, and I may show you what some of the my preferred entries may be, along with how to work our EWO 2-minute process, or a 2-minute EWO process. So if you have any questions, type into your chat box. Let's get them answered for you. I love the engagement when people are asking me questions. All right, looks like the echo is gone now, Pappy D says. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate you. All right, what I have up right now is Webull. This is my multi-chart. This is what I use in our Zooms and our live Zooms during our training sessions in all-day trading. This gives me a bird's eye view of 9 tickers that we typically like to watch. Up here at the top left is ES, top middle is NQ, top right for me is RTY, or the Russell. Bottom left, or middle left, is oil. Middle is gold. Middle right is YM, or the Dow. That is our 4th indice that we watch. Bottom left is NG, that's natural gas. Bottom middle is silver, and the bottom right is the euro. Yes, I am clicking. Can't seem to get rid of that clicking sound. You wait until you hear me type. All right. Look at what we got going on over here. All right, Andre, today we're looking at whatever it is you want to look at. So far today, we've looked at silver, NQ. We spent a fair amount of time reviewing NQ in the latter stages of this upward move here, watching this section of the actual movement. Had a couple of nice discussions about where we would think it would pull back to, where would it find support, would there be a continuation to the upside move, so on and so forth. So what we like to do when we're reviewing things like this is, where are we going to find our support and our resistance? Well, as we were creating the structure or the move on the way up, we were making highs and making lows. Let me get rid of all these. Making highs and making lows. So as we make those highs and we make those lows, we have printing right in front of us support and resistance. So the way that I typically will do a support or resistance area is with this rectangle, and I take the top wicks, and that becomes my support area. And I do the same thing with the bottom side of any wick when it prints, especially if it's relatively recent and it's on a key level of support and resistance like this one is right here. That just strengthens that overall price point for me. Then I can come in here and I can take right here as support, and then I'm going to have this area up here at the top that I need to break and hold above. So in very short order, I can come in here, snap a couple of lines, and have something that's workable in no time flat. Now, a quick review of what we've got here, and as we came up, we consolidated, we hit a high, made our low, and this right here off of that last top, this is our break. This is a key thing we talk about here all the time. Key level here, so this is our break, make a new high, retest said level, and take the move to the upside. These are my favorite entries, the break and retest. I also prefer major levels of support where we have a ton of support right here. When price action comes down to that, I like to see a good response out of support where I can get in on the next candle and protect myself relatively quickly as it makes the move up. Now, in this particular case, this move was cut short, and I want to talk about briefly why this was not a continuation to the upside just yet. Our last high being right here and our last low being right here, the midpoint of that is right along in here, and we could not break and hold above that midpoint. So the natural thing to do is either consolidate or pull back. So as we're coming up to that midpoint, actually it was the move prior. Let me do this. It was this low to this low right here that caused this rejection. So the midpoint being right about where this key level is at 25,381, if we couldn't break and hold above that, then the likelihood that we were going to have that continuation to the upside at that time was relatively small. And as you can see, we came up and we hit our head on it a couple of times finally before we had this big pull down to where we finally found our lower support down here at the bottom side of this consolidation. Got our punch up, back up to 361 to the top side where we were found this high and this retest, along with all of this action up in here, acting like support. Could not break and hold above that, pulled back again. Now, on the next pullback, if I look at this on the 1 minute, which I prefer to do, bear with 1 second here. All right. So looking at this in the 1 minute, the first place I'm going to be looking for support when this comes back down is right along this line, again, 341, or the top line at 330. So as we're coming back down, we have our high, we have our low. We broke the mean but could not hold it, rejected off of 361, came all the way back down to 330 and started closing around 341. That told me that this move and this buyer's wick right here was just a retest of the level of support, and we got our pop to the upside and then have maintained price above 361 this entire time. So entry either here or on the retest here for the upside move. You could do the same thing if you missed this move, you could do the same thing over here. So as you found support off of 361 again, the pullback off of the double top, which we were running into right here, about 50% of that overall move, and I'd start looking for support. So as this broke down, I'd be looking for any support anywhere in the 375-ish range, or the continuation to the upside to take out this high again. And now we'd be on a triple top, which means the more times we tap on a ceiling or the more times we tap on a floor, the more likelihood that we're going to have to break through and get to the next level. Our next level is up here at anywhere between 410 and 420. Any questions on that? I also like this last move as we found support. We found support off the 200 on the 1 minute twice. And then as the 200 started working its way up even higher, it started providing support even later on. Even as the trend is relatively flat, we are still getting a support bounce off the 200 to the upside. So as we get to the top of the trend channel here, again, I'm looking at this double top to my left. I want to make sure that I break through that and get up into the next range so that I can take out or at least challenge the daily and weekly high here. All right, Andre says oil is going down. All right, let me take a look at oil. Oil's been in a 2-minute EWO for most of the day, the latter part of the day anyway. Since about noon, we started seeing rejection at, let's see, what is that, 64.88. Basically 64.90 came down, found some support, but could not break a new high. So here we come right back down, and our 2-minute EWO entry would have been right here on this candle. You would have had to sit through some consolidation, but the overall move for the 2-minute EWO is working out. Nice 2-minute EWO entry there, even though this is counter trend. The trend is relatively flat, and you could ride that one down for a little while. It, aside again from the consolidation, aside from that, we had a relatively clean move down, and now finding support off a previous day high, which is a key level for us in futures, stocks, options, or crypto. Any market, previous day high is going to be a key level. Thank you everyone over there on the TikToks. Appreciate your support. Let us know if you have any questions over on YouTube. Got all of our questions answered. Good afternoon, Cherub. Good to see you. Okay. Back to our monthly chart, see what we got going on. Yes, looks like we're coming up on a double top here. I can see this at a glance, so we can go back and take a look at that. NQ is still moving to the top side, but we already know where that one's at. We can take a peek at gold and silver. We can also look at the euro if we want to. Let's take a peek at ES. ES had much the same movement, right? So we have our area of consolidation here that we were looking for support out of. We got a volume candle up, our next area of consolidation, the break and retest of that key level. Came up, and then we're starting to find rejection here at that same key level. Oh, it doesn't let me use my fast keys. There we go. 69.89. Really want to put a line in there and probably look at yeah, 69.90 be a good spot. And as you can see, we've broken and held above that. Now we have more room on ES to the top side than we did on NQ, but we do still have this double top right here that we want to make sure we're watching very carefully to break and hold above. And as you can see, we came up into the bottom side of that and rejected off of it. Now, where's going to be our next level of support? Right in through here. So watch that price action. If we come back down to the 9, that would be a retest of the 9 on the 2-minute. We are in a 2-minute EWO to the upside, and the entry on that was on this large candle. So if you got in on this candle at all, you could be sitting very pretty on this ride to the top side. Andre, I take trades when my setup presents itself, so I don't do a ton of just scalping anymore. And this was too late in the move, and to enter this close to a double top this far away from the 9 in an uptrend, I still wouldn't take a short here anyway. Hey Jerry, how are you? Good to see you over there. Let's see what we got going on here with the L2. All right. Let us know if you have any questions. happy to look at any kind of chart that you want to, doesn't matter. Right now we're looking at ES, micro ES specifically, and we're in a bit of a fist fight right now with the L2. We do have upside potential, but we're not really seeing a ton of energy moving through this double top here. On the 2 minute, I'm just waiting for this to make a decision. What I'd really like to see is for it to come down and check in on support. Right about here on the 9, you can see that the 9 has started creeping up, and this is the double top that we broke to get up to this area. So broke the level, recheck the level, and now we look for a continuation to the upside if it's going to maintain strength. Looks like it's trying to stay tall. We've got support showing up at 69.94 and 95. Still not convinced that we're going to be to the upside here until we can break into that range again. That's awesome. That's good to hear, Jerry. Do I build positions and how I trade? I want to see what your strategy is and what I do. What I do is I look for structure bounces, like I was talking about on NQ. So my favorite type of entry for me lately is to allow pricing to hit an area of resistance, come back down, and find support. And it's these support bounces that I prefer to take. It gives me a cleaner entry with minimal risk because I keep my stops relatively tight. And then as soon as I get a move out of that, out of my range, then I'll move my stop up. So if my entry is here, my stop is here, I'll move my stop up just to cover fees and keep it below a key level, so that I at least eliminate some of the risk of being stopped out right away. Now, in this particular case, this move up was abrupt and came down pretty quickly. So if I was in with multiple contracts, I typically will shed as I get to the indicators because I know that that can be a point of resistance. And then as the price comes back down, I'll either exit my position if it's coming back down too quickly, or if I see that it's going to challenge this level of support with any kind of veracity, and I might exit my trade and look for a re-entry if it's going to continue to the upside. Because at the time when this is coming down, you have no idea if it's going to melt down into that range again and then break and hold and go below. So as you're watching these candles doing their things, you have to make some split decisions. So in this particular case, entry here, protection here, exit here, and then re-entry here, protect here, and now that was the move that I was actually looking for. So eventually, if you're in an uptrend and you're catching these, what I would consider this minor price correction down to support, these are the support bounces that I'm looking for, and I prefer. Hopefully that gets your questions answered. And there we are. We're at the bottom side of this range, and we're coming right back up into it. Now, this is our major double top here, and this is our daily high. So our daily high is going to be pretty important, and I'm starting to see 431 contracts sitting here at 7,000. Let's see, that's on ES. That's a pretty big level. We broke our double top here, came up to 7,000 and pulled back. So this is a great example of the L2 having a ton of contracts up here at a nice even number at 7,000. And unless those contracts move, there's no way that you're going to continue beyond that. So those contracts right here would have to break down or get moved or get pulled because they're limit orders. And they're just waiting up there to get filled. So every time that we tap into 7,000, price is going to get pushed back down until that gets exhausted or pulled. So you could utilize that as a rejection criteria. You could take a short off of this area if you know where your next level of key resistance is going to be. But right now, 7,000 is the number to beat. And as long as that large contract volume sits there, price will not move past it. It'll act like a ceiling. All right. Let's see. I did a couple of silver trades today. Was this morning. And if I remember correctly, yep, I did take that bounce. Okay, so for your educational purposes over there, Andre, this is a key area that I was watching this morning. As this printed early this morning, this gave me a support range that I was looking for. Now, I had already had this zone snapped out prior to. Price had come down to this and done what it did, and then moved its way back out, topped out at $80. So what I was looking for today and where I got in on a couple of scalps along in here off of these bounces. Actually, it was this bounce and the other. It was this one and this one. But because price action was trying to break up through these key areas, I was getting, I had to shed pretty quickly and then get out relatively quickly as well. I didn't really sit through a lot of the consolidation like I'd been trying to. But when it finally came back down and it came to this support, that was the one that I was really looking for. And this move up was the better move anyway. Now, I sat through most of this, and then about right here, I had to do some work and take a phone call. So I decided to get out of the trade right as it was coming up into this major level of resistance. And then while I was on the call, I watched it do that. It happens. But all in all, a relatively decent day for me. I think I had 12 trades today total. 4 or 5 of them were relatively quick stop outs because price wasn't ready to move in that direction just yet. But we had a nice move today on silver. Look at our daily. You can see right here that we are at the top of our area of resistance right now at $82.93. So if we can break and hold above this, then we might have a nice continuation to the upside. But the first thing that I'm looking at right now is on our move down, this great big sell-off candle that day. On our move down, we found support, came back up, but didn't come anywhere near 50% of that candle. So this was clearly a continuation downtrend. Now this down here looks like a decent support bounce. We got a good buyer's wick. We had good buying throughout the most of the day to get us back up to a key level. And then we gapped up on Sunday, which was an important thing to see. So we have this gap between the close of Friday and the open of Sunday, which is the current session that we're in now, Sunday to Monday. So as we come up here and we're looking for a continuation, we really do want to see a break and hold or a good candle close above 82.93. So what does that look like on the 2-minute? We're at 82.93 is what we're looking for. So 82.93 is right in here. Right there, which is a range that I already had snapped prior to, as you can see, and we're really close to the middle of that range. So as long as we stay above this, then our continuation to the upside is good, at least until we get to the top of the range where we're at our double top.